So I'm troubled as to where to start. This is an interesting text. I can start with the fact that in my family, both my mother's side and my father's side, I am the first, and to my knowledge, the only male to have a doctorate degree from an accredited. No judgment. Accredited university. I can start there. I can start with, in my family, a few years ago, I wrote a book, published author. A couple years ago, I did an album. I can start there. I can start with, I've been a part of a lot of different church planting teams. And so in terms of the denomination, I serve as a consultant. So I planted over the last 10 years, well over 100 churches that are still growing and going to that. I can start there. I can start with all the hundreds and thousands of people around the nation who have come to know Jesus Christ because some of the work that we've been able to do in terms of ministry behind the scenes with leaders around the world. I could start there. Or I could start with my 9th grade year of high school, where I was invited by the vice principal to his office. And there in his office in 9th grade, I was met with the police chief and the fire chief. And they were there to expel me, arrest me, and escort me off the property. I could start with my 10th grade year, where I spent the entire year on probation at a different high school. And so the question becomes, how did you go from probation, police chief, fire chief, to doctorate degree, books and albums and hundreds and thousands of folk being saved and knowing Jesus? How do you go from possibly looking at prison time, having a record that could possibly follow you the rest of your life, to now serving the Lord and living for Jesus? I'm challenged on where to start. Because when I look at the text of Rahab, I see the same quandary. We can start at the fact that she is the great-grandmother of the second king of Israel. Rahab is the great-grandmother of David. We can start with the fact that she is the mother of Boaz. And y'all know Boaz and Ruth, right? That Rahab is the mother of Boaz. She is the great-great-grandmother of David. She is the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother of Jesus. And we see her in Matthew's gospel. We can start there. Rahab, this prominent, dominant, right, woman who has birthed not just Boaz, but is responsible for David and is a part of the legacy of Jesus Christ. Or we can start with the fact that the first time we encountered Rahab, she is a prostitute. Y'all quiet. She is a prostitute. A Canaan prostitute living in Jericho. A city that's about to be destroyed. A life that's about to end. And so the question for Rahab becomes, how did you go from a prostitute in Jericho to the great-great-grandmother of David, to the mother of Boaz, to the great-great-great-great-great-great-great-grandmother of Jesus? How did you go from Jericho to Jesus? How did you shift a generation? How did you change your trajectory? And the answer becomes courage. Tell your neighbor, courage. Tell your neighbor, I'm not what I look like. Tell your neighbor, if you knew my story.
You knew my
What it
story.
took for me to get here.
Oh,
Trying to preach, trying to keep. How do we go from this place of trial and struggle, this place of all kinds of condemnation and charges, to being able to walk fully into our destiny and our purpose and live out what God has called us to do? The only way to do it, the only way to shift the generation is to do so through the courage. If you're not careful, Quinlan, if you're not careful, we will make the mistake of judging Rahab over here. If we are not careful, we will make the mistake of defining Rahab over here.
Yes.
And in doing so, we will miss everything Rahab has to offer as she gets here. You will notice that even in the description of Rahab, as you look at her in the text, the last time they called her a harlot or a prostitute was in Joshua. After that moment, anytime they spoke of her as the mother of Boaz, the great-great-grandmother of David, the great-great-great-great-great of Jesus Christ. We had the possibility of missing the movement and the moment by defining her by one place and time the second that we meet her. But can I tell you that we are more than just this moment? Can I tell you that we are more than just this linear experience? We are more than just a second, but God has something deep on the inside of us, and if we just continue to serve God, we can move like Rahab from one nation, from one step to another. But that shifting of a generation takes courage. Tell your neighbor, courage. The first thing you're going to have to encounter if you really want to shift is you're going to have to deal with the fact that you must defend your risk. Tell your neighbor, can you defend what you're willing to risk? Y'all all right? I'm going to preach. Okay. Can you defend what you're willing to risk? When the spies first show up in Jericho, now they go straight to Rahab. And let me say a word about that, right? Because that's interesting. The text says they go there and they stay there. That's interesting. Right? Right? But here's the thing. We often look at Rahab as a singular prostitute, right? As an individual who performs services for fees, right? Yes. Right? But the reality is that many commentators will tell you that Rahab owned the inn. So it wasn't that she was just performing services for a fee. Rahab had a whole brothel going. Rahab had an inn, right? Like Rahab she had a Holiday Inn. You understand what I'm saying? They had some other services at the Holiday Inn. So the men, the spies, go straight to Rahab, right? And the text says they stay there. And the text says that as soon as they get there, the king is informed that they're there. So the king sends word to Rahab, where are the men you invited in? Rahab has a decision to make in that moment. I've just risked my life. If they find out that I'm hiding spies from Jericho, they can more than likely kill me, take all that I've worked for and provided for, and leave me stranded if I even get to have my life. And so Rahab has to decide in that moment, am I going to defend what I was willing to risk? Rahab has to decide in that moment, am I going to stick transition and shift in my life, this change in my life, or am I going to fall back simply because I've been pushed upon?
Yeah.
It's easy to risk. It's harder to defend. It's easy to say, well, I'm going to just try it. I'm tired of doing what I've been doing. I'm going to just try to do right. I'm trying to change. I'm not going to do it no more. I'm done. It's easy to do that part. It's harder when old habits and old folks show up and say, well, come on, man. Just one more time. Come on. Right? Or when folk begin to challenge what you have placed as a risk, there becomes the difficulty. Are you willing to defend what you have risked? Don't you know the second you decide to make a change in your life? Y'all tell me if I'm hot and cold on this. The second you decide to make a change in your life, it was your friends who first said something different about you. Wasn't it? What? You ain't acting like you used to act. Something wrong with you. You acting all snooty and different now. I don't know what you got going on. You better than us? Right? It was those who were, right? Because they recognized that if they could push on what you were willing to risk, you would never follow through with what God has for you. Are you willing to defend what you have risked? If we are going to shift a generation, if we're going to move with courage, we must be willing to defend what we have risked. Rahab, who you hiding? Nobody. Rahab, where the men that started coming to your house? They're gone. Are you willing to put your life on the line? Are you willing to stand firmly on this new dimension of what God has called you to? Or will you fall back every time somebody challenges you? How will you go forward? Y'all all right? So Rahab, number one. Are you willing to risk or defend what you have risked? Because number one. Number two, not only do you have to wrestle with this idea, this conception of whether or not I'm willing to defend what I've risked, but then number two, watch this, you've also got to decide, are you willing to work your faith? Tell your neighbor, can you work your faith? I want you to notice in the text, Rahab says to the men, I know who you are. We have been talking about y'all. You all have taken over so many nations and folk that Jericho is scared because they know you all are coming. And so I know that your God is bigger and badder than any God we got going on. And so Rahab, being the deal maker she is, says, I'll make you a deal. I will hide you in this place. But for me hiding you in this place, you have to make sure that when you all come and do what you're going to do, that you keep me safe. That was Rahab's deal. Right? What the spies say back to her is, well, we'll give you a scarlet cord. And if you hang it on the outside of your door, and you stay in the house, everyone that you bring in the house will be saved. But if you step outside the door of the house, or don't put up the scarlet cord, you will not be saved. Here is the reality. God has given us clearly how we ought to move and do. Yeah. But if we're not willing to work our faith, then we can't get upset when it does not come to pass the way we want it to be. Yeah. Do y'all get it? Yeah. It's one thing to say, God, I believe. Ooh, God, I believe. Right? It's one thing to say that. It's a whole different thing to get up and go start applying for some jobs. Right? Oh, God's going. I had a friend when I was in seminary who was super holy. I mean, like, she could have wore a cape. Right? She was super holy. And she would take from what she was telling me, she would take and she would pray over her books. Y'all hear me? Her thing was, we'd be in class and she would say, well, how long did you spend praying over your textbooks? Right? Because she was super holy. And we would often respond, well, we were busy reading. You understand? There's a difference between faith and work. Right? You can have all the faith you want, but if you're not willing to work, if you're not willing to do the thing that God has called you to do, then you cannot receive the reward of the Lord. What they said to Rahab is that we will do what you have asked us to do. Only if you do your piece. God's blessings are often transactional. They are often participatory. Participatory. It's a word. It's Scrabble. It's a word. Participatory. Right. They are often that. Right. Anytime Jesus heals somebody, he usually asks them to do something in response to his healing. Right? Take up your bed and walk. Go and show yourself to the leaders. Right? It is always, I'm going to do this thing, but you have a role in your own healing. And so here it is again that the spies are saying to Rahab, we're going to take care of you, but there's some work you also have to do yourself. Y'all get it? Y'all get it? God's going to deal with everything you are wrestling with, but there's also work for you to do. Can you work your faith? My father used to always say, when you're done praying, get up. When you're done praying, get up. Don't stay down too long that you miss the opportunities that God has for you. When you're done praying, get up. Number one. Are you willing to defend what you have risked? Or the second you get pushed, will you give in? If you want to change, yes ma'am. If you want to change a generation, if you want to move from this dispensation to that one, you've got to be willing to defend what you've risked. Because I guarantee you're going to be challenged. That's number one. Number two, not only must you defend what you have risked, are you willing to work your faith? Rahab, I hear what you want, but you got some stuff to do yourself. Can you hang the scarlet cord on the outside of the window? Can you gather in your family and close the door? Are you still going to be outside in the street doing this and doing that? If we're willing to work our faith, God is with us. But the blessings and provisions of God require us to do some work. Here's the last one, I'm done. Number one, we must be willing to defend what we have risked. Number two, we must be willing to work our faith. And then here's number three. And this is probably the hardest one. You've got to be willing to let it all go. Tell your neighbor, you just got to let it go. You got to be willing to let it all go. Rahab had a tremendous decision to make. She was about to make a decision. That would mean she would leave everything she has known and built up and that has defined her entire life for the hope that something different was about to happen. Rahab had a tremendous decision to make. Am I willing to let go of all this that has defined me for the possibility of what God may do for me in the future? Y'all get that? She had to decide, am I willing to let it go? Now, I know some will say, well, the whole prostitution and harlot thing is a horrible, thing, and she was, beneath, but that's not true. In first century Jewish culture, that was a booming business. And as the owner of a brothel, she had not only rights, but she had power. You understand? She had power in her role, and so she has to decide, am I willing to let go of all of that for what God may do in my life? Some of us, the reality is, even though we have lived in conditions and lived in places and lived in situations where we are suffering, many times we have lived that way so long that it has become part of our identity, for which, if we're honest, we derive some sort of power from. Can we get real for a minute? Y'all okay? Yeah. Y'all okay? And so we gotta be willing to decide, am I willing to let go of the power in my poverty? To trust God to take me to the next level. Am I willing to let go of the power in my depression, the power in the identity that I have owned for so long as one who is broken, for the possibility of what it may look like for me to be fully healed and trust God? Sometimes, can I say it like this? Sometimes, Quinlan, it's easier to limp. It's easier to limp. We've got to be willing to let go of all of that in order to move fully into what God has for us. Go ahead, Cassandra. Go ahead. Go ahead, Isaiah. Go ahead. Find out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We gotta be willing to let go, in order to move forward. We would find out many years later, again, that she would become the mother of Boaz and the great-great-grandmother of David and the great-great-great-great-great of Jesus Christ. But I guarantee you, in that moment when she decided to give up all that she had and follow Jesus, she wasn't thinking about all that. In that moment, she was deciding for herself between life and death. In that moment, she was making a decision that would shift her generation. In that moment, she was standing on courage and saying, God, I will trust you anyway. That God, even though I don't see it, even though I don't understand, I'm believing in you. In that moment, Rahab said, come on, God, let's go. It's difficult. It's difficult to do. But if we are going to shift a generation, we can't stay comfortably where we're at. We must be willing to defend the very thing that we embrace. We must be willing to work our faith. We must be willing to let it all go. Amen. Amen.